The Minnesota Timberwolves gentlemen sweep the Golden State Warriors and advance to the Western Conference Finals in back-to-back years. And what a time to be a Minnesota sports fan. The Twins on a 10-game win streak. The Timberwolves gentlemen sweeping the Warriors. The Vikings schedule coming out and having primetime game after primetime game. Look out, world! Because Minnesota sports fandom is coming at you. But today we're going to talk about the Timberwolves sweep in 5 games against the Golden State Warriors. But first, I need to tell you about 5 Star Bass Solutions of Minneapolis. Because while I have your attention, you will not want to miss this episode, by the way, because I am very fired up about certain narratives and thoughts after the Timberwolves beat the Warriors. 5 Star Bass Solutions will come into your house, give you a free consultation, offer you affordable payment plans, and can remodel your entire bathroom in 24 to 48 hours. It took them 48 hours to completely redo our bathroom, and we had our bathroom back in days. I'm talking about the whole enchilada. The floors, the tub, the surround, the double sink we got, and the vanity. Plus, they took care of our mold problem. I talked to other businesses. Yeah, you're going to have to outsource that. We can't do that for you. Huh? I want it all done all at the same time. I don't want this to be an 8-week long project. 5 Star Bass Solutions of Minneapolis came into our bathroom and remodeled our entire bathroom in 48 hours. That's their promise to you. They'll enter your bathroom. They'll give you a free consultation, free quotes, affordable payment plans, and give you your bathroom of your dreams like it's a snap of your fingers. No longer wait 6 to 8 weeks for a bathroom project to get done where you're cramming into your tiny basement bathroom, waiting for people to take deuces and pisses. Have your bathroom back in moments, in days. 5 Star Bass Solutions of Minneapolis. Contact them today to get your free consultation. All right, Timberwolves win 121-110. And gentlemen sweep the Warriors after Stephen Curry goes down with a hamstring strain. My biggest takeaway from Game 5 is that the Timberwolves did not mess around. They did not play with their food. Halftime 62-47, entering the fourth quarter, up by 20. Sure, the Warriors made a late run to cut it to 9. It's not like it was a 5-point game. And sure, a 9-point lead can evaporate like a mist in the wind. But the Timberwolves, I really had no doubt that they were going to win that game. The Timberwolves did not mess around or play with their food, and they took care of business on home court, which was vital because the Warriors were trying to even have a slim chance of bringing Curry back on Sunday for Game 6. And you could kind of see the Warriors bench mob getting excited, getting amped, Curry standing up and cheering because even he wanted the chance to step in on Game 6 and advance the series to a Game 7. The Timberwolves did not mess around, and that was really important for many reasons. 1, you end the series. 2, you get a little rest before the Western Conference Finals start. 3, you don't have to worry about Stephen Curry. The Timberwolves only averaged 47.2 points per game in the paint this season, ranking 20th in the NBA. To close out the Warriors, Minnesota outscored them 72-50 in the paint in Game 5. They shot 62.8% from the field, the third best by any team in a series-clinching win in the shot clock era. Plus, it's cool for the fans to experience winning a series on the Target Center floor. Because last year, the Timberwolves, to advance to the Western Conference Finals, beat the Nuggets in Denver in Game 7. Swept the Phoenix Suns, which meant they won Game 4 in Phoenix. This is the Timberwolves' first series-clinching win in forever. So it's cool that they gave their fans bang for their buck. Because you're talking about Target Center floor seats that have to at least cost $1,000 in a series-clinching game against the Warriors to advance to the WCF. And it's cool because the Timberwolves' 72 points in the paint was tied for third most by any team in a playoff game over the last 25 seasons. And that's come from Dave McMenamin of ESPN. I saw this tweet as well. This came from Opus. Where did this come from? I want to make sure I got my sources. I want to give credit where credit is due. Because Timberwolves reporters were retweeting this guy. Opta Stats on X. 131,000 followers. The official Twitter page for Stats Performance. This is what they said. The Timberwolves are the first Minnesota-based Major League Baseball, NBA, NFL, or NHL team to be among the final four teams remaining in the playoffs 2 years in a row since the North Stars did so in 1980 and 1981. So the Timberwolves' consistency of advancing to the Western Conference Finals 2 straight years has not been done in Minnesota by one of the major sports teams since 1981. This is historical stuff that the Timberwolves are putting together. And what's so fascinating about it is that it took 90% of the season for the team to figure it out. And they snuck into the 6th seed. The Timberwolves had to beat the Brooklyn Nets and the Utah Jazz during their final 2 games of the season to be in the position that they are in right now. Because if they lose either one of those games, they're in a play-in, which means they're forced to either play the Rockets or the Oklahoma City Thunder. That's tough. So the Timberwolves took care of business. That's my big takeaway. Offensively, Julius Randle, 29 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 turnovers. The turnovers was a problem. But besides that, Anthony Edwards, 22 points, 12 assists. He had 7 turnovers. But he did a fascinating job, a great job of involving teammates and distributing the ball in great places for his teammates to make plays. As simple as alley-oop dunks, as simple as dump-offs to Gobert and McDaniels and Julius Randle. Mike Conley, 16 points, 5 for 7, 4 for 6 from the three-point line. He joined the party. 8 assists, 6 rebounds. Rudy Gobert, 8 rebounds, 17 points. McDaniels, 14 points, 6 of 14. This was all around the greatest playoff performance from the Timberwolves starting 5 this year. Everyone in double digits. Everybody was efficient. Nobody missed more than 9 shots. McDaniels was 6 of 14. Gobert, 8 of 9. Conley, 5 of 7. Edwards, 8 of 15. Randall, 13 for 18. And the bench, DiVincenzo played his best playoff game. 13 points for him. 5 of 7. 2 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals. This was all around a great team win for the Timberwolves to advance. Because the Warriors, they're itching to get back to Golden State to just get the slim chance of Curry playing. The Timberwolves were racing against the clock, and they won. As far as other takeaways from this game, this was a big win. Because I think about last year, this was a big win. Oh, what a great takeaway. Wow. You can't get that kind of knowledge anywhere else than the Minnesota Tim podcast. Last year, to advance to the Western Conference Finals, the Wolves played an emotional series against the Denver Nuggets, up 2-0, 2-2, down to 3-2, win at Target Center 3-3, go into Denver, you're down double digits early, you come back and stomp on their throats in the second half and have an emotional win where Gobert's hitting fadeaways and Anthony Edwards is clinching it in the corner. And then they had to face Dallas 2 days later. Exhausted, and Edwards was burnt. Emotionally and physically. He was not himself against the Mavericks last year. Cat wasn't himself. The Wolves were atrocious against Dallas last year. And you can place a lot of that on the amount of rest and recovery time and the emotional toll the series was against the Denver Nuggets. So the fact that they get more rest to face off against a Thunder squad that's hungry and ready to prove themselves, or a Denver Nuggets squad that has Nikola Jokic, probably the best basketball player in the world right now. That's huge. Reset your body emotionally and physically. Give yourself time to prepare. Because unlike Stan Van Gundy, who says, oh, it was the rust in game one, the Timberwolves just weren't ready, they're used to playing back. I don't buy that bullshit. I don't buy that. Give your body time. Give your body a rest. Rust, really? 5 days? You're still practicing. You're still in the gym every day. You're still preparing. More rest is always a good thing. Maybe there's a half of a first quarter of getting your body ready and up to speed again and facing the competition. But I would rather have this situation of winning in 5 games. Your body is physically and emotionally ready to face off in the Western Conference Finals than going 7, having 1 day break, and then, you're in the fire again. So that's why this was a big win. I do wonder, and this is a big question as the Wolves get ready to prepare for their next series against the Thunder or Nuggets. I would guess the Thunder. But so far this playoffs, how much have the Wolves been challenged? Because they won in 5 versus the Lakers. However, they did have clutch time wins. They win in 5 against Golden State. No Stephen Curry. And against the Lakers, I loved that matchup because they did not have the bigs to defend Edwards at the rim. And Luka is slow as heck and could not stop anybody. And LeBron's 40. So I loved that matchup against the Lakers. But here's what the Timberwolves need to be ready for. They need to be ready to take their game to another level in the Western Conference Finals, because whether it's the Thunder or the Nuggets, those two teams are going to be a much greater challenge than the Warriors or the Lakers. And this is to get to the NBA Finals. This will not be as easy a cakewalk as the Warriors or the Lakers. And you think about the Warriors series. Curry goes down in game 1. That allows the entire Wolves roster to shift. So Jaden McDaniels, the Timberwolves' best defender, doesn't have to guard Curry anymore. He can guard Jimmy Butler and give his NBA basketball life, make that havoc. To go into the Thunder and Nuggets series, they need to be ready. Because the performance in Game 5, although it was series clinching, the Timberwolves combined to have 20 turnovers. That is not going to get it done against the Thunder or Nuggets. The Timberwolves need to be sharper. Their intensity needs to go to another level. What we saw in Game 1 versus the Warriors is exactly the kind of thing I'm talking about. The Wolves steamroll the Lakers, win in 5. And then the Warriors were hungrier, more battle-tested, and more physical than the Timberwolves were in Game 1. And that's why the Wolves could not overcome a Stephen Curry injury and beat the Warriors. So the question that I have is, will the team be ready to take their game to another level physically, emotionally, and mentally to beat the Thunder or the Nuggets? Because they need to. Their performances, although they were great against the Warriors and Lakers, will not be enough to advance to the NBA Finals. Because the Thunder and the Nuggets are another animal. They need to be cleaner. They need to be sharper. They need to be more ready. They need to be smarter. Because the matchups against the Warriors and the Lakers is as great as a playoff matchup that the team could ask for. And I'm not going to apologize for the Timberwolves advancing to the Western Conference Finals. I'm not going to say it's a joke because they beat who they had to beat. They played who was ever on the schedule, beat them in 5 in advance. It's not like we need to apologize because their playoff schedule was lighter or easier than some other matchups. So I'm not apologizing for anything. But they need to be ready for a tougher challenge. It's not going to be as easy as their wins were against the Warriors and Lakers. Because we're talking about the NBA Finals. And the last thing I want to say about the Timberwolves advancing to the Western Conference Finals for the second year in a row, and the first time it's been done in Minnesota since 1981 and 1980. Right now, there's a appreciation from the fan base, as there should be. I'm appreciating the run. But I'm almost getting a sense of, because the Timberwolves were so bad for so long, and boy, were they bad, I'm almost getting a sense of, you know what? If they lose the Western Conference Finals again, it's okay because they've been so bad for so long. Let's just appreciate the moment. Remember the years of Chase Budinger and Luke Ridnour and Alexei Shved and Al Jefferson and Craig the Rhino Smith and Corey Brewer, Johnny Flynn. I'm almost getting a sense of, you know what, they've made it this far. Let's just appreciate the moment, because the NBA lottery was just a few days ago, and that was the only thing Timberwolves fans could cling their hopes to for like 20 years. And I want to push back against that thought, because this is not a time to sulk and get in your feelings and feel like, you know what, we've made it this far. Let's just be happy and appreciate the moment. No. This is a team that has the chance to be historical. And if they lose the Western Conference Finals, we should be pissed. Not too often do you get a chance where a team is this good and the finals has been this open. And Edwards is finally clicking. And the team around Edwards, especially Julius Randle, is playing at his best ever. It's not a time to appreciate where the Timberwolves are and where they came from. It's a time to stomp on the throats and appreciate greatness and go to the NBA Finals and win the whole frickin' thing. So, I'm pushing back against this idea that we should be satisfied and appreciate where the Timberwolves are. Because I think we as fans should have the same satisfaction as players. If the Timberwolves lose the Western Conference Finals for the second straight year, soon the narrative is going to shift from appreciating where we are and what they've done to, well, why can't they advance to the NBA Finals? What's holding them back? Why can't Edwards take that next step? So don't get all up in your feelings about where they are and what they've accomplished, because someday, soon, if the Timberwolves don't advance to the finals, people are going to wonder what's wrong. Is it Chris Finch holding the team back? Why can't Edwards get over this hurdle? Just like Jordan couldn't get past the Pistons for a few years, people are going to talk about the Timberwolves. Why can't they get past the Western Conference Finals? What is it about the Western Conference? What is it about the roster, the coach, the team, the ownership group? Why can't they do it? So I am not in my feelings about this run, about appreciating the moment. Oh, I'm so happy. Oh, it's so cool. No. If the Timberwolves lose versus the Thunder or Nuggets, this season will come and go like a fart in the wind. Nobody will give a damn about what the Timberwolves accomplished this season if they lose in the Western Conference Finals. It's just going to be another mark on the radar that said, you know what? You were not good enough to get to the finals. You were not good enough to overcome the best team in the Western Conference. And the players feel the same way. The players after this win were very consistent in their messaging. Anthony Edwards, there is no satisfaction. We just got here. We haven't done anything yet. So no, we're not satisfied. Gobert, that's exactly how it feels. Stomach is not full. Not at all. Jaden McDaniels, it feels good, but there's really nothing to celebrate yet. And Chris Finch was mic'd up during Game 5. And what he was saying about to Anthony Edwards speaks volumes to me.
A lot of game left. There's a lot of game left. They're not going to stop. They're going to keep playing. They're going to keep chasing every rebound and keep pushing. You got to play, man. You got to play all the way through, all the way to the end.
I love that from Chris Finch because he knows the history of the Wolves organization. He knows how bad they've been in the past. And his message to Edwards is not appreciate the moment, because think about where we were 4 years ago when you were just a young player in the league. Think about where the Timberwolves were 7 years ago when you were in college. Just appreciate the moment. If the Warriors come back and win, so be. Let's not appreciate it. We can appreciate it, but let's also have a hunger for more. And sometimes I feel like we mix the two. Sometimes I think we appreciate it to the point where we sulk in it, and then we're just kind of grateful too much. And then we're not thirsty or hungry as much as we should be, of demanding more. So I'm very passionate about that, because really, who gives a shit about a Western Conference Finals appearance? Really? Cool, you made it this far. If you lose, just means you fell short of reaching the NBA Finals. And if you lose the NBA Finals, who really gives a crap about that either? It means you fell short of winning the NBA Finals. My eyes and sights are set on winning the whole damn thing. So you can appreciate it, but make sure that your appreciation does not overshadow the amount of hunger and thirst you have for more. Because it's been so long since a championship. And sometimes as Minnesota sports fans, I think we forget that, hey, we can win a championship. Our satisfaction does not need to rest in being a competitive playoff team that advances past round 1 or round 2. Our satisfaction should rest in winning championships. And that's how the players are feeling. And I love their comments in-game and post-game. Thank you for watching this show and listening, if that's your choice. The Timberwolves advance to the Western Conference Finals. Big deal. Win the whole darn thing. Thanks for watching. 5-Star Bass Solutions of Minneapolis. Check them out. And everybody, hope you have a great day. And thank you for going on this podcasting journey with me. I didn't realize that. The Minnesota Gophers thing, I was so passionate that thing fell down.